All right, thank you. Thank you, everybody, for coming. We're so glad to see you all on this Saturday morning in May, which is sometimes a busy time of year. Please join me in welcoming Nataliia Cherevko from Washington English Center for a workshop entitled Spice Up Your Class, Speed English and Other Engaging Low Prep Warm-Up Activities. We are so glad to have her here presenting for our final webinar of the TESOL Spring 2024 webinar series. My name is Tabitha Kidwell. I'll be facilitating the session, helping in the chat, helping with the breakout rooms. And I teach at American University, and I'm a TESOL board member. But I will go ahead and turn it over to Nataliia for what promises to be a very engaging session.
Thank you, Tabitha. Thanks a lot, and thank you everyone for joining us on Saturday. Yeah, thank you. It always shows that here the people, the community of those who appreciate constant professional development. So thank you for that, and of course, thank you to our organization for making it happening, and for all the people who always check that everything runs smoothly, and for all the people who are actually providing all this opportunity for our personal development. So my name is Nataliia Cherevko. Today we're talking with you about some tricks, about some interesting things which can spice up our class. And the first, I have a question to all of our participants. So if you don't mind using the chat, could you please write the number of years you've been teaching? Is it your first year, or it has been already 5 or 10 or 20 or even more? So if you don't mind to share this information, I would appreciate if you could just write in chat the number 10, 6, amazing, nice. This marks 20. Congratulations, that's 25. Okay, that's nice. Thank you. First year, thank you for being with us. That's amazing. 7 years. Thank you. You know that personally for me, these online meetings, this is not only about giving the information and sharing something I know, but it's of course a knowledge share. It's share of our experience. That's why I'm looking forward to getting some inspiration and some actually interesting things from you. 24 years, 25 years. Okay, now I feel like a little bit like maybe I should just leave and you can actually share your experience. Thank you for that. That's amazing. That's amazing. And so I'm moving to my presentation. And what's on the agenda today? On the agenda, only practical ideas. I'm a big fan of teaching, but I know how teaching is busy and it takes all our time. That's why I love using all the warming up activities which actually require zero preparation, or like just a little bit of preparation. And all these activities which I will introduce you to, you can use straight away in your class. I'm here because I love teaching. Here is my email. If you have any questions, suggestions, just want to chat and to brainstorm my ideas, you are always welcome. I've been in America only 1 year, and I've been 1 year in Washington English Center, non-profit organization which provides affordable English classes for immigrants and refugees. I'm also a founder of private language school in Ukraine, a big school which still works. And I've been teaching 18 years, adults worldwide, and 10 of them as a teacher's trainer. And if I were to put all my 60 minutes workshop in one slide today, I would definitely use this quote by author and educator John Holt, which says, "Learning is not product of teaching. Learning is the product of the activity of the learners." And it doesn't mean that we as the teachers are not very important, or we can be easily, replaced with artificial intelligence or something. For me, it's more about how important and crucial everything what we do in class and how we organize the process. And today we're going to talk about that. And since my topic is warming up activities, of course, I will start with a warming up activity for you. So now I will invite you to breakout rooms. You have 2 minutes, and I want you to, of course, to introduce yourself, to tell where you are teaching currently and how long you've been teaching, and also share your secret recipe of a great class. So something special, what you always bring to the class. Maybe it's some warming up activity, maybe it's some approach, maybe it might be some principle you stick to. So anything you want to share. Again, breakout rooms, 2 minutes, and I'm now opening them. So we have, okay, some more people are joining. That's great. Okay, so let's do it. Okay, you're invited to breakout rooms. Please join. 2 minutes for conversation. Okay, now I need to make sure that Eric will get with Janine. Let's see. Yeah, that's great that we have families here, teachers' families, like dynasty. That's amazing. Okay, let's see. So Eric. Oh,
I think
perfect.
everybody made it. Yeah, they ended up together.
Yeah, they end up together, which is really great. Wonderful. Okay, it's the time. So now it's 7 minutes. So we need to stop them in 1 minute because it will give them one more extra minute, right? Approximately. Yeah.
Yes. Great.
Yeah. And that's really great that my kids are not crying or shouting because I just begged my husband, please take them somewhere for 2 hours only. Just give me these 2 hours, please.
All I need. Yes, that's always good. Things are quiet here too.
Yeah.
Would you like me to bring them back from breakout rooms, or are you managing it?
Yeah, I will do that. It's
Okay, okay, no worries.
Yeah.
Just wanted to check. I wasn't
Yeah,
sure if
yeah,
maybe
thank
you were
you.
waiting for me to do it. I didn't want to.
Thank you. Welcome back, everyone. Thank you. Thank you for being talkative. Thanks a lot. Okay, if you, thank you, join us. Yeah, if you would like to share something, what maybe you were told, or maybe something what you would like to talk, to tell us about your principles or about something, you're welcome. Just raise your hand or unmute yourself, and you're welcome to share. So I will give you a moment. So if you want to share anything, what you've learned, maybe something we can all use, you're welcome. If not, that will continue. So I will give you a few more seconds to think if you would like to share anything.
I like to check in with my students and see where they are today or that day. You know, like a picture of like on a scale of cat and then all the different pictures of cats and how they look or feel that day, to like sleepy to just spazzy, just sort of social emotional check-in for the students, is, you know, so I know what headspace they have.
Yeah, that's nice. Thank you, Melissa, for sharing. Yeah, that's a great idea, actually. Thank you. Thank you for that. Okay, anyone else?
I could tell.
Yes, you're welcome.
Yeah, actually, what I was sharing with my partner is that I really, an example of what I would do in a class depends on the topic or what we're doing. So we will be doing a reading on street smarts and book smarts. So I would put those two words up and get students to brainstorm and talk about it. But really, what I do most warm-ups, I would do a warm-up in like the beginning of the semester with an information gap scavenger hunt kind of activity, where I would put the questions about the syllabus or the textbook and have them, you know, look for certain things. They have to go through the textbook to find different, whatever the question is, or to look at the syllabus and find out, you know, what is the grading or whatever, you know, details that I don't think they probably read. So have them do it as a scavenger hunt,
Yeah,
information
that's
gap
great.
type
That's
of
great.
activity.
Thank you. That will definitely come in handy. Thank you. Thank you for sharing. Thank you. Anyone else? Dan?
Stacy brought something up. I think I know that I sort of had to figure out when I started. You know, we have this phenomenon of people for a great variety of reasons. They don't, you know, they kind of come in gradually to the class, and we have to sort of have some activity that's going on while that happens. And you know, I know what I did in the class, and I'm wondering what other people. I mean, she basically does an exercise, but I wonder maybe during the webinar, you'll address that. Maybe something you also experience.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. Thank you for sharing. And just to remind you that at the end of our session, we'll have 15 minutes for questions and for just sharing everything what we have, maybe some question, maybe some alternatives, maybe something you would like, just some remarks and everything. So we will do it then. But thank you. Thanks a lot for that. We'll keep that in mind. Okay, so let's continue then. The very first warming up activity, which is very, very easy, and I'm sure that some of you are using it. It's just a thought-provoking problem-solving situation. And here what I've come up with the idea that the more honest, the more open you are to your students, no matter what level you are teaching, if it's like intro, beginners, or advanced level. So the more open and like say true to life the situation is, the better. Like for example, if you were my students today, I would definitely say, hey, every time I'm doing something for the first time, I feel a little bit stressed, even anxious maybe. What would you recommend me to calm me down? Do you have any suggestions when you are doing something important, or you're preparing to present or preparing for the exam or maybe something else? What are your suggestions? What do you recommend me to do? So, and also I like to assign my students with this warming up activities. And for example, sometimes they know that every 10 minutes a student has at the beginning of the class, but I have lots of flexibility at my work. And I say, hey, 10 minutes, who wants to start a class tomorrow? I want, okay, so 10 minutes, whatever you want. That can be a question for a discussion, that can be group work, whatever you want to offer to us today. So now I'm again inviting you to breakout rooms, and I want you to think about 2, maybe 1, 3 situations which can be used with your students, particularly with the students you're working with, and what can or should be altered. Maybe you would like to add the vocabulary list, to start with your own answer, like to set them an example, especially if it's intro level students. So again, I'm inviting you to breakout rooms. You have approximately 2 minutes to brainstorm some interesting situation and what can be changed in this particular warming up activity. Please, I will recreate them. Just a second. Okay, please join. We have 2 minutes to brainstorm thought-provoking problem-solving activity. Okay, and I need to make sure that Janine is with Eric. That's what she wanted, Eric. Let's see. Janine.
So they're both in rooms of 2 people right now. I would say they already were in one breakout room together. I think they
So
can
do you
maybe
think
talk
it's okay? We
to,
can just, okay.
I think so, because they've already gone in,
Yeah, okay.
so.
So
it's okay.
Janine, 15. Mhm. And as always happens, I just noticed the you instead of your, but it's okay. I will change it later. Then just was too quick. Okay. Great. Oh yes, she wrote actually. Thank you for putting me with Eric. Now you can mix us up with other people, please. Amazing. Thank you. So you knew it. Thank you. Yeah, that's right. Great. So it's time, right? 18. Yes. Yeah, because it gives 60 seconds more too. Yeah, okay. Welcome back. Thank you. Thanks for your ideas. And of course, if you would like to share 1 or 2, you're welcome. Just raise your hand or just unmute yourself. And if there is anything interesting to share, you are more than welcome. Anyone?
Well,
If you just,
I
welcome.
teach, thank you. I teach GED, and so test anxiety, and then is an issue, and also dealing with failure, because at some point people fail already, they fail a test, it's part of the journey.
Mhm.
So a situation could be, how do you deal with failure when you fail something, or what is your idea of success for this semester or for this class or something like that?
Yeah, that's nice. Thank you. Thank you for sharing. Thanks
Sure.
a lot. Okay. Anyone else?
I did this last semester, I did an intermediate conversation class online, and we did a lot of different things like Dear Abby letters kind of scenarios, give students scenarios where people are looking for advice. And then have everybody sort of debate what they think is the best answer for them, and then vote on the best answer that they think they've heard, and then things like that.
That's great. Thank you, Melissa. Thanks a lot for sharing. Yeah. Thank you. Another activity which I love and which requires zero preparation. It's a kind of a game to start your class with, again, regardless of the level of your student. Name 3, talk 2, which means name 3 something and talk during 2 minutes. For example, name 3 things you are good at. Give details. Speak during 2 minutes. In this case, sometimes I use the timer, but actually I am a big fan of all this old school send timer, which I have, and I just put in this timer for them and say, okay, you have 2 minutes to talk. They can talk in breakout rooms. They can talk in pairs, for example, or they can just talk to you depending on the number of students. Or name 3 fruit vegetables you love eating in summer. Give details, speak 2 minutes. I always start with me. And in my class, I always have this linking words and other interesting things like to be frank, to tell the truth, it should be mentioned, it goes without saying, I'd like to confess, another thing I would like to mention, and so on and so forth. So I have a list of them, it helps them, and it becomes like, kind of a automatic to use them. And I start with my answer always. So I say like, hey, 2 things I'm good at. Yeah, that's very difficult to talk good things about yourself. Usually I'm good at naming my, weaknesses, but I would say that number 1 is, and so on and so forth. And this time I am not inviting you to breakout rooms. This time I just want you to concentrate 1 minute, and you can use either chat or you can just unmute and give your suggestions. So what are the situations? What can we think about 2 or 3 situations where you can say, name 3 something, talk 2 minutes, and what can or should be altered? Maybe we can add, or maybe we can modify somehow this warming up activity. So just concentrate, just 1 minute. Yeah, so no breakout room this time. Think about what it can be. You can use the chat or just go on mute, and if it resonates with you, what would you change? How would you use this warming up activity? Name 3, talk 2. Oh, that's nice. Name 3 countries. Yeah, something what I know that food and traveling, endless topics, something they would always talk about. Yeah, like that's for sure. From okay, recent lesson, name 3 household appliances and talk about your favorite one or the one you could not do without. Perfect. So I have already warming up activities for the whole week ahead. Thank you. Thanks a lot. I will use it. I might use this for problems in the world, for problem solution writing. Yeah, you 3 favorite people, right? And this activity is good because, again, interest students, you can just say 3 vegetables you eat every season and why, and describe them, what color. So this is for intro level. If it's, let's say, advanced level, so something more challenging, like it can be name 3 places you name 3 rooftop cafes in DC area or in your area and why they are worth visiting. So something like that. Okay, you 3, yeah. Thank you. Thanks a lot for using it. And you know that actually there is even a game. I came across it recently. So there is a game, actual game for kids, and it is called Name 3. So just the cards and like name 3 yellow things, name 3 animals like brown color. So there is an actual name 3 jobs. Yeah, name 3 negative integers. Why did select those numbers? That's interesting. Yeah, that's nice. Thank you for all your ideas. That's wonderful. Name 3 activities you did during spring break. Yeah, or some 3 things you are planning, 3 expectations from this summer. That's amazing. Thank you. Thanks a lot for sharing. On we go. The next one of the activity I also love, and this is great because you can use this either you're working in person or online. So it is called yes, no, I don't know, it depends. So how it works, if you're working online, you just think about some triggering question, and then you create breakout rooms. But this time, I will try to do it right now. You name breakout rooms. One breakout room will be yes, one no, and one I don't know, it depends. And then you say, depending on what you think, join the particular breakout room and discuss your ideas. Again, here should be something triggering the question itself. If you're working in person, then you just put wall signs. For example, on this wall, you will put yes, on another wall, no, and then I don't know, it depends. In my room, in my classroom, I mean, these signs are always there. And whenever we want to do something like, just to take, like, for a change, we say, okay, let's do it. Examples of the questions. Traditional, oh, I'm so sorry for using this, it's not readable. So traditional petrol cars should be totally banned. Yes, no, I don't know. And then people choose, yeah, they should be totally banned. Then I go to this wall and we're discussing the reason why. It depends. Maybe we should give some time to think about it. It depends on the country. So then another. Well, so now I have prepared the question for you. ESL teachers should only be native speakers. Yes, no, it depends. Okay, and now I'm trying to do the breakout rooms. So I recreate them. And here, when you do breakout rooms, it is like so there is a choice, let participant choose room. So I recreate them, and then there is a name of the group. So I'm naming it. For example, the first one, yes, rename. The second one, no, okay. And the third room, it depends, rename. Okay, so let's see. Now I'm opening 3 breakout rooms. Yes, no, it depends. And depending on what you think, I invite you to join this breakout room. The question is, ESL teachers must be only native speakers. Yes, you go to group yes. No, group no. It depends. Okay, let's try to do that right now. So they are open. Okay, I see that people are joining. So when you see that, yes, no, it depends. Oh, thank you for no, because if all people say yeah, then I'm not a good teacher because I'm not.
Yes, we'd feel really sad then.
Yeah, that would be sad. Okay, yeah, but sometimes I believe that yeah, it depends. Yeah, sometimes okay. Let's see what people choose. Okay, so you have to choose a breakout room. Okay, is it clear? Like if it's yes.
Nothing popped up on my phone oh, here it is. Oh, no, it disappeared
It
again.
may not
maybe
pop
take
up.
some time.
You have to go down to the bottom sometimes to find breakout rooms
Yeah.
in the menu. And
Okay,
it's
I got
more
it now.
difficult on the phone for sure. But most people are figuring it out.
Yeah, so like if you believe yes, then you join yes. No, no, it depends. And I believe it depends. I would join it depends, but yeah. Okay, we have 2 more people. Do you have any troubles joining breakout rooms? Mary and Elizabeth, so can you join breakout rooms? Do you see them? So if yes, no, or it depends.
We don't see where the breakout rooms are.
So if you prefer, we can just put you directly in there. Mary or Elizabeth, if you'd like us to move you to one.
It says breakout rooms, but we can't click.
Okay, which one would you like to join?
No.
Also, I lost the internet.
No.
No.
A lot of people lost the internet.
Okay, thank you.
I think everyone made
Am-
it in. So for those of you watching the recording later, if you're curious, we had 5 people join no and 3 people join it depends. Interesting to see people's perspectives.
Yes, and while we are waiting, okay, Elizabeth, you haven't joined it, right? So some difficult. So which breakout room you would like to join and why? Can you just explain? Like, do you believe that
So
ESL?
Natalia, I think Elizabeth might be frozen here for us because if you look at the breakout room,
Oh yes,
she's in it, but she's not joined. I'm not sure.
yeah,
I
I'm
think
not
she
sure
might be
either.
frozen. I think some people are
Yeah,
getting kicked out, but some people seem to be doing fine. So
yes,
we
yeah,
can't
and
win
one
'em
person
all.
has already left. Okay, yeah, I see. Right. Nice. Okay. Okay, one more minute. And that's so weird. I don't know how it happened that the letters were changed because I didn't put this. How
I
do you
know,
call it?
I saw it's very different on
And
the,
it's like, oh, I even don't like how, why it's like, what's
I have no
that?
idea. I have no
Yeah,
idea. It looks
I will,
good on the Google slide. I don't really
yeah,
understand it.
I will, yeah. That's maybe because I'm using the Chromebook and it's, it's sometimes it
Sometimes
has.
that can be tricky.
So, okay. Let's close them. Welcome back. Thank you. Welcome back. Thanks a lot. So again, this activity can be used if it's online. So you do it manually and you name your breakout room. So you can do it. There is this option. Or if you're working in person, then you can just put the stickers on the wall, yes, and people group there, they just mingle and they communicate. Now, any feedback or comments, maybe you would suggest something what we can change about this activity or add something to this activity. If you have any ideas, you're welcome. Just unmute yourself. And this is the time to share. You're welcome.
So I've seen this done right as 4 corners. So they might have agree, disagree, strongly agree, strongly disagree.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's exactly what can be done. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that.
Mhm.
Okay.
Do you like summer or do you like fall? Or like have the 4 seasons? And if you like summer, you could go on one side of the room. And if you
Yeah.
like fall, you could go on the other side.
That's nice. Yeah, that reminds me, actually, we can use just the pictures. We can put pictures of anything. For example, I don't know, banana, broccoli, strawberry, whatever. And they just, especially if we are talking about like teenagers or even kids or even adults, that's interesting. The pictures that would, yeah, that's nice. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. Okay. Okay, Dan, I think only native Ukrainian speakers should be allowed to teach ESL. Thank you. I'm taking it as a compliment because I am Ukrainian. Thank you for that. Okay, on we go. The next thing, what I love using. Now you have, you know that they have special boxes at teacher's desk, and when students come, they put their devices, mobile phone, and they can get them only at the end of the class, because, like, I don't know, for not getting distracted or something. So I love using mobile phones. I love it, whether you are working online or in person, and that's what I'm going to do now. So I'm sure that your gadgets are very close to you, right? So please take your mobiles, if they are there, unblock them if you have a block, and then go to the folder, which is called Photos. It is called Photos. Yeah, photos or pictures or gallery. So where you have your pictures, okay? And now I would like to ask you to find a picture of food, any food. Maybe it was a picture taken recently, maybe it was very long ago, maybe you do not have a picture of food, which I doubt, but still, so try to find a picture of any food. Okay, so I will give you some time. Try to find a picture of food. Oh, okay. Okay, and now I want you to share this picture, to show it to us, or work in breakout rooms, for example, and tell us what this food is, when the picture was taken, what's that, what are the ingredients, why you've decided to take a picture of this food, and so on and so forth. So what I would do next, I would just ask you to join breakout rooms. I'm not going to do it now to save our time and just to share more tips with you, but what I would do, just please join breakout rooms, show the picture to each other, and just tell about it. Like, for example, oh, actually, it was just recently we celebrated Easter, and we were wined and dined, so much food there, and blah, 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 blah. Another question. Can you find in your folder of photos a place? Any place. You can do it right now. Just think about a really nice place which you visited recently. Maybe you were abroad, maybe you visited another state, maybe you visited Europe, maybe it was just in your area, some nice place. So show a picture of a nice place and tell us all the details about the place. Like when it was built, what do you know about this place? How often do you go there? Where is it located? How you can get there? And when we have these folders, the choice is endless. Food, people, places. You can just say, I'm sure that you don't know, but you can say, what was the very first picture which is in your folder? So this is a question to you, a real question. You shouldn't share, but just for your interest, you can just go to your pictures and see what is the very first picture on your mobile. Maybe it's a Kit Katty, your beloved, or maybe it's your kids, or maybe just a picture of, I don't know, a timetable at work or anything. And then students, it adds up a bit of excitement. Oh, I don't remember what my first picture is. That's really interesting to see. And I will do it. They started scrolling down, and then they talk. So that's how we can, this is only one of the ideas how to use a mobile phone. And I'm sure that you are using mobile phones. Another thing, what can it be? You just, students come to class and you say, hey, are you on social medias? I'm sure that you're on social media. So you have 2 minutes now to go on your social media and to scroll the feed and tell something interesting. Maybe it's a piece of news. Let's focus on positive things. Maybe something is going to be open in your area. Maybe it's a friend is celebrating a birthday or anything. So share something what you see on social media right now. And they take the time. Wow, social media. Yeah, that's great. Wow. And they do it. Another thing, go to the messenger, WhatsApp, Telegram, Viber, whatever you are using, and tell us with whom you communicated today, if you can reveal this information. Who is this person? What were you talking to about? If it's something you would prefer to keep to yourself, you can just talk about another conversation or something. Sometimes it happened that some of the students, I had a few situations when they don't have a mobile with them, or for example, they have a very old phone without there are cases when they don't have the phone with the pictures. In this case, I just pair them with someone who has picture, and they ask questions like, who is this person whom you show me? How long have you known him or her? When was the last time you met? And so on and so forth. So in this case, you can actually prepare even to such situation. And now again, I want you to think about using mobile phone just in silence. I'm getting used to the idea to use silence as a tool. So try to think what are other approaches or other activities we can use our mobile phone and our students' mobile phone. So 1 minute to concentrate, to brainstorm with yourself, to think, and then we'll discuss it. So we have 1 minute to think other ways or approaches to use our mobiles. You can use chat. You're welcome. You can, if it's easier, you can use chat with your ideas, or you can just unmute yourself and tell, this is how I use mobile phone. So this is something what you can do. So if you're using mobile phones during your classes, please share in what way, what do you do, how do you encourage your students to use them? Yeah, there are some ideas. Oh, recent videos from YouTube or recent reels on Facebook, short clips, perfect. That's great. I send worksheets occasionally to them to work on together, pictures, yeah, that's nice. Thank you for sharing. Ask student to take a photo of something in their kitchen. Yeah, that's good. In the, where was it? And immediately in immediate environment, and come back and talk about it. Perfect. I love it. Cartoons, yeah. Record small interviews. Yeah, students can use their computers. Yeah, they can use their computers. MapQuest or other map. That's something interesting. Can go to MapQuest or other map app and talk about where they go to shop, hospital, closest here, leads to other conversation. That's great. Yeah, Janine, thank you for that. This is a great idea. To send me links to their favorite songs. Yeah, that's nice. Lots of ideas. Thank you. So we have plenty of ideas. We are armed with new ideas for the upcoming week. Perfect. Thank you so much. Okay, and now we're coming to Speed English. I'm a huge ambassador. I'm a fan of Speed English, and I use it almost every single class. So what you've heard about speed dating, I'm sure, right? So it's very quick, lots of people, and you try to talk to as many people as possible. So what Speed English is? An interesting question, 2 minutes per conversation, and a new partner every 2 minutes. If you're working in person, you can line them up, for example, and then one line, they just sit, and another, so they're glued to their chairs, literally, and another every 2 minutes, they move one step to the right. And in this case, they will, every 2 minutes, they will have a new partner. If you, you can just say like, I don't like this line, so I just say to my students like, hey, find someone to talk to. Okay, you have 2 minutes to talk about this. Then find someone you haven't talked to today. It must be a new person, someone you haven't talked to. So go find someone and let's talk. Then again, I use either timer or this scent timer or whatever, and some noise maker, especially when there are many students, like let's say 20 or 30 or 40. The maximum number I've done it with was 150 students. It was like lots of people. So you need some noise maker, like time is up, and so some noise maker. Examples of the question. Again, I don't know what has happened to my readable sentences. Now they are irreadable, but I will try to read them. So, okay, why have you decided to become a teacher? And what do you enjoy most about teaching? So this is the question to you, but I'm not inviting you to breakout rooms. Another example, what website, what top 3 website do you frequently use which help you to prepare for your classes? And you talk about that. Or like lots of other examples for students. Name one of your long-term goals and one of your short-term goals. Are you a tea or coffee person? Tell about your driving experience. Tell 3 things you love about living in the place where you live. What are advantages and disadvantages? And every 2 minutes, you change the partners. It can be also groups, but it's better when it's one-to-one. So in this case, they will be speaking all the time. And you will be surprised if you're working with the intro levels that even students intro level, they will keep speaking using gestures, using whatever, but they will speak all the time. Okay, so any questions about speed English? Comments, questions, anything? So speed English, like for example, now I work with alumni English. That's like quite good level. And every class I start with speed English, 5 questions, 10 minutes. And I assign students to come up with the ideas. Like sometimes they really come up with very interesting questions, great ideas, like which superpower would you like to have? What would you do if you were invisible? You can also practice grammar, by the way. For example, if you're learning present perfect continuous or present perfect, have you ever blah, 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 tell about your experience. Or how long have you been learning English? Share some tips. What are the best tips to learning English, and so on and so forth. Okay, so any questions about speed English or comments? Just unmute yourself or use the chat.
Have you ever tried speed English on virtually? Does it work?
Yes, that's what I do every Tuesday, 10 a.m. Yeah,
Okay,
it
okay.
works perfectly. The only thing is that all the time you have to recreate the breakout
Yeah,
room. So
yeah.
and sometimes if you have, let's say, only 8 students, they will talk to the same people. So what I do, sometimes there are 2 people, sometimes 4 people, sometimes 3 people. And in this way, there is some, some changes. So yeah. So some, like
So
that.
you
But
don't do the reassignments manually, you just automatically reassign every 2 minutes?
just automatically. Every time I just do it automatically. Yeah,
Okay.
just automatically. Yeah, that's exactly. And then, for example, you can tell students like, hey, for example, Peter, for the next time you're preparing 5 interesting questions. And then at the end of the year, you will have a list of questions. So you will have a huge presentation to use for the next year, which is great because, okay, more free time for me. And again, another good thing about speed English, what I love, while they are talking, you are doing whatever you need to do, preparing, checking your listening, or I don't know, something. So they have 10 minutes speaking and you have all these 10 minutes for yourself, doing whatever it takes, like I don't know, we always have something to do, right? So this is really great. They're speaking. Sometimes if you want to check their like accuracy or fluency, you can join the breakout room. You can just, listen, jot down some mistakes, and then, hey, what would you say this? Or how would you say this? Or like some mistakes if you notice. So again, depends on your objectives, but thank you for the question. Okay. Anything else about speed English? And we still have some time for questions. Hopefully it will be productive and fruitful. Maybe you will share something. But if you have any questions, particularly on speed English, or maybe some suggestions how we can alter it or change it or modify it, you're welcome.
I have one suggestion is I love, especially for my conversation class, I love to use ChatGPT to generate questions. It'll give
Perfect.
you 100 questions if you want 100 questions.
Or even more, and you can use something like more difficult, more complicated, add some space topic and something. Yeah, this is good, but sometimes I'm afraid to use it too often or too much, because then I don't know, it's very good for our brain to to work, but this is good, especially when we are extremely busy. Thank you, Melissa, for that. Yeah. Okay, any other comments or remarks?
Yeah, about speed English. Yeah, I've done it on Zoom, and it's definitely successful if you can juggle the rooms. But I haven't tried this yet. I wonder how you feel about, let's say you create 6 rooms, and say you have 18 people. You say, well, go to room 1, and here talk about such and such. And then if there's no one there, go to the next room where you talk about such and such. I haven't tried it yet, but I wonder if that sets off any red flags to you, where that that might not work. I'm also just interested in general other ways to use multiple breakout rooms where they can move around. I have an experiment.
Yeah, that's very interesting. And actually, yeah, that's even you can, for example, you can open more breakout rooms, and then you can say, like, your own question. You have 2 minutes and you can speak and you can talk about whatever you want as long as you speak English. Yeah, so like your own topic, your own question, for example. Yeah, something to add, for example. That can be good. Yeah.
Yeah, the only downside I wonder is that if there's a room where there's a particularly interesting question for a lot of people, and like 8 people go there.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you mean when we manually assign them, right? So, okay.
When you have open rooms where they can move around from each room, and each room is a different question or activity. What happens when a student goes to a room that's really got a lot of people in it? Will they just sit there and wait? Or maybe they can be told, if there's a lot of people there, find a room where there's not as much people. I wonder how to manage.
I'm sorry, but I cannot hear you properly. So your question, I'm sorry, maybe it's just my computer, or so your question is if there are too many people in one room, right?
Yeah, I'm sorry, my microphone is But yeah, this idea of using multiple rooms and having people move through them to do different things. Yeah, if you can't hear me, we'll just move on. I don't want to cause a problem.
Okay, but I would love to answer your question. So if you don't mind, could you use the chat and I will definitely answer it. So but please use the chat and then I will. Yes, I'm so sorry, but I just didn't get it. Okay, I can't hear him well either. No, if you lean closer, it's better. Okay, so yeah, it might be just with my. Okay, yes, that's the problem. Okay, so when using it for grammar, do you tell them to use a certain tense explicitly? Make sure you use the prefer to keep it loose. If it's for grammar, I want them to use the particular pattern, and I would write it. Like, for example, I would even give an example, like you should start your answer with I have never tried blah blah blah, or I have always wanted blah blah blah. Yeah, I would definitely make them use this particular grammar pattern or whatever. Okay, let's see. This is okay. And of course, some material, some resources. 2 books I strongly recommend to you. Teaching Unplugged, or Dog Me in English Language Teaching, and 50 Zero Preparation Game. So we need to have time for ourselves, more free time, more inspiration, the better and more efficient our teaching is. That's why these 2 books will definitely help you and add a bit of excitement to your classes and preparation. So I definitely recommend them. One of them, I believe, Zero Preparation Games is, you can find the PDF version of some of the pages for free. The rest, I believe you can take it from the library, or you can purchase them, or maybe you can ask someone. Maybe some of you have this book, but they are highly recommended. So these are the books to use. And thanks a lot. Any questions? Now we have 6 minutes actually for questions. And here is my email. I am always happy to talk, to brainstorm. I'm a big fan of constant professional development, and I would love to hear your ideas. And if there is anything happening, also email and say, hey, there is a good event or something. And now let's see the question in chat first. Okay, when using multiple breakout rooms, each with a question, if there is a risk too many people would go to one room in particular and perhaps just sit there listening and then okay, yeah, that's what you meant. Okay, so in this case, you can actually foresee it. For example, let's say a question, we must do sport every day. Yes, no, I don't know. If you, it's a bad example, but if you believe that many people would say no, you can do 2 rooms with no answer. And for example, you can limit the number of people, like because you can just say, hey, no more than 3 people in the room. That's why I'm creating 2 breakout rooms. Yes, 2 breakout rooms. No, 2 breakout rooms. It depends. No more than 4 people in each room. That's it. That would be the solution. I hope I answered your question. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Dan. Okay. Plug in my prose book, New Ways in Teaching with Games. Okay. I didn't quite get, Eric, what you meant by this comment. Okay. Zero preparation activity for beginners by ProLingua is also good. Thank you. Okay. Thanks a lot. And now it's question time. So you're welcome. If any questions, any ideas, or just anything you would like to share, you're welcome. Unmute yourself.
I have a question that's been on my mind for a while. I'd like to hear your thoughts. When my boss observes me, she's pretty critical. She's like, what did that warm up have to do with the lesson? And like sometimes I'm like, well, we're gonna do the lesson for 3 hours, so I just want to do something fun that has nothing to do with the lesson. But
absolutely right, and I'm there with you actually. So now I'm an ESOL specialist, and I always tell to my volunteers who work for Washington English Center, like, never skip warming up activity. This is important. This is vital. So never skip it. And warming up activity, like, it does not necessarily mean that it must do something with your lesson. If you are going, okay, of course, it depends. If you are doing traveling or, I don't know, upbringing system or whatever, you can include. But in most cases, it's just for people to use English, to practice English. And as long as they are speaking English, it's good. Of course, there are, if, for example, you have to cover some, I don't know, grammar or something really very serious and you don't have enough time, yeah, maybe you can just shorten them, not like 15 minutes for warming up activity, but 5 minutes. But in my humble opinion, warming up activities a must. And if they engage and students are talking and using the vocabulary and practicing, that's what we are. That's why they are learning English. So what's bad about that? So, but this is only my opinion.
I like your opinion, so thanks.
Thank you. I hope that next time you can refer, you can say, okay, there was someone without name, someone on TESOL, and she said that. Thank you, Eric. Thank you. But you know that this is real English. So I work now with immigrants, with refugees, people who need English to survive, various levels, some for their work and so on. So the more they use real life English and the more they practice, the better. And in general, like each class, no matter what other objectives are, I try to aim at 80% of the time when students are speaking, not me, students are speaking. Like what using like new grammar, new vocabulary, whatever. Thank you, Eric, for that. Okay, can you repeat the name of the first book you mentioned? Yes, just a sec. I will do it. I will put. I think you have the slide right now. Oh, sorry. Here it is: Teaching Unplugged and 50 Zero Preparation Games. If anyone has your favorite books you can refer to, please use the chat and share your favorite books and we will know them as well. Okay, that's, I've answered this. Can you repeat that? Okay, agree with that. And I mentioned earlier, in adult ESL students often join gradual over the period, and we always need some kind of open warm-up activity to use the time. Yes, that's correct. And I always say that warming up activity starts when the first student joins the class. If there is one student, you already interacted. This is already a warming up activity. Like, hey, how have you been? So that's nice that you are early today. You are the first. You always so punctual. Tell me your time management secret. What's that makes you so punctual, and so on and so forth. And you're speaking already. Trickle in activities. We call, trickle in. That's nice, Melissa. Thank you. Yeah, dribble in, trickle in, dribble in. I love it. Okay.
I do have one more question. I know earlier, before a lot of people joined, I asked for the link to the slides. Could you share that again for everyone?
Yes, I'm just now, I'm sending the link, but feel free to email me, just like, hey, could you send me the presentation, and I will do it. So Thanks. You have my email, right? So yeah, but I have just shared it. Okay. Yes. We have time for, no, we don't have time. So one last question. anyone, if you have more questions, you're welcome.
Well, I think that probably is a good time to wrap up. So thank you everyone for attending the session and for such engaging participation. Thank you again to Nataliia for a really exciting presentation. I hope it will not be your last with TESOL. We would love to have you present at our conference and in future webinars. So thank you, everyone. I'm going to stop the recording now. And I
Thank you.
hope anybody watching on YouTube has enjoyed it as well.
Thank you. Enjoy your Saturday.